So you had the privilege of watching the comeback of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that was released in 1990. What was this iconic feeling like for you at the movie theater? I
Let me
forgot to
ask you
ask.
this: was it released in? I thought it was released in 1989, or was it filmed in 1989, released in 1990?
It could have been that. It could have been that. I think it was 1990 though.
1990, probably
It was
theatrical
released in
release.
1990.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, it was one of the most heartfelt feelings I've felt an extremely long time. It was emotional. I cried. I teared up
Did you
along
really?
with along with several other children inside the theater. Yeah,
Oh shit.
it was
That's
amazing. It
right.
was an
What happened with
amazing.
that again? Tell me that again.
So it's the part where Master Splinter he emerges from the fire. His I guess his spirit or whatever, and he's talking
Oh
to
yeah, 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 yeah.
my sons.
Yeah.
He's like basically telling them that strength is of the mind and all this, and it was just I forget exactly what he said, but that specific scene where they're all sitting around the campfire, it was
That
just
is hilarious. But I
it
mean,
was fun.
now that I think about it, that was a sad scene, though.
Yeah, it
That
was
was a sad
because
scene.
that's when they had kidnapped Master Splinter,
Yeah,
and then obviously April O'Neil takes the turtles to her like her spot in her house in the middle of nowhere,
yeah,
and they're just waiting for Raphael to recover after the Foot Clan had beat him
yep.
up or whatever, and then Splinter was kidnapped, and they're just trying to like basically summon or make some type of spiritual contact with Splinter.
To find out where he is and everything. That's right, bro. I remember that. I mean,
Exactly.
that's actually one of the few, bro. Like, if not the main comic type cartoon movie that I watched when I was little. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um,
It was funny because in that part, and that I told you that it was like a group of like five little kids, and then Master Splinter comes up, and then all the turtles are crying, and then these kids in the theater they're like, and I'm like, I'm hearing the kids crying, I'm seeing the turtles crying, and I'm like, I'm trying to like remain strong, and
that's
I'm like, oh my
hilarious.
goodness, it
That's
was
hilarious.
ridiculous.
I remember one time I went down this rabbit hole about that movie, and it was recently. It was like in the recent years, not recently, but in the recent years. I think I was probably bored, and I just decided to online just look it up, see something about it. Or maybe I came across it on YouTube, and I just started going down this rabbit hole about all the mistakes that were made in the movie that they just left in the movie that in reality when you watch it and you're not paying attention you don't even see it, but they're there though. They're there because then when you go back or even if you watch the little clips that they put online, you watch it and you're like, oh wow, I never noticed that, and then if you pay attention when you watch the whole movie, they just left it, you know.
Yeah, maybe if I would have known about the specific points of where those mistakes were before I watched the movie, maybe I would have
Yeah.
caught on to it. But I mean, I was watching, I was aware of it. I just didn't remember which specific scenes they were. But
And
just
so there was a few, like the battle scene on the rooftop with Raphael. They
yeah,
say like one of the choreographers, I guess, for the stunts of the Foot Clan. You end up seeing him in the shot. Um, in the beginning, when Michelangelo's going to pick up his pizza, not really in the beginning, but like when he's riding his skateboard through the sewer,
yeah,
he does one trick where he spins like does like a shove it or something like that. You see the actor's hand in the shot when he's like spinning around. So they only like put like the costume on from like the waist down just to get that shot. Because those they tried to do as much as they could with only certain parts of the costume on because those were heavy costumes, bro. And another fun fact was that like they were saying that they were losing like 10 pounds of water weight a day from being so hot and sweating in those costumes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's why in that scene you see the actual actor's hand in that shot. There were just a bunch of little things, a bunch of little like fun facts in the movie. Another fun fact, it was filmed in North Carolina, actually, Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where
Wow,
it was filmed.
wow.
And then like so they made it tried to make it seem like it was filmed in New York City, but they just built certain scenes. If like a scene didn't look too much like New York City, they made it, backdrops or whatever. Like the sewer scenes, they filmed in a cement factory over there in Wilmington, North Carolina. Um,
Yeah, it
so
was
I
it
mean,
was a great experience, man. To be honest with you, it was
yeah,
just sitting there in the theater watching it on the big screen and just really remembering. You think, okay, I forgot some of the movie, but once the movie starts, immediately like that opening
you
scene and
just
every scene after,
remember.
you just everything just starts coming back to you, and then you just like reliving it and rewatching. It's like wow, it just brings back a lot of memories.
You
And
remember the name of the thrift store in that one scene that I think it was
no,
April O'Neil's building on the corner. There was a thrift store.
I don't
And there
remember
was
that.
and I only that only stands out because when we used to thrift a lot, that was one thing that always reminded me. But it's called like secondhand thrift shop or something like
Oh,
that.
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but
And
yeah,
another
man.
scene also that it's like there's so many good scenes in that movie, but when they kidnap Master Splinter and then they all come back to the sewer to the headquarters to look for him, and then that whole shot with Raphael, the camera comes back and it swirls around him from his back to the front of his face, and he starts screaming.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like you feel that,
yeah.
you really feel like his pain,
Well,
all
well,
their pain,
bro. I
really.
mean, you have to. I would expect. Because there was some heavy hitters behind that movie. I mean, think about it. Who's the main heavy hitter that was in the backing of all that movie, even though he really didn't agree with all the violence? But for him to put his name on this, this had to be serious. So, there had to be some people that knew how to bring that emotion out of you. You know who
Oh,
the who the heavy hitter is that was
no,
behind Jim
no.
Henson, kid.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Jim
That's right.
Henson. He created all the,
Wow.
like what he did with the Muppets. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And that's
I know that's what
it
I
sounds
know that's what
funny.
Splinter was. Splinter was mainly the puppet. They
Yeah,
had the guy
yeah,
controlling Splinter on
yeah,
you see, and because before they played the movie, they did like a mini documentary of like
yeah,
behind the scenes and stuff, which was real
yeah,
cool, which
yeah,
I
yeah,
had never
yeah.
seen before.
I mean, it
So they
makes
had
sense
showed
because he
that.
was kind of skinny, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So I don't see how they would fit somebody in the back and inside of a costume like that, you know?
yeah, it was like you could
Hmm.
see the guy, he's like holding up Splinter like that, like I guess through his hand and just
You
doing
know who
Splinter all the
voiced,
Splinter
you
motions.
know who voiced Donatello, right?
I think it's Corey Feldman, right? Was it
Yeah,
Corey Feldman?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know how much he got paid for that movie, bro?
How much?
$1,500.
Oh yeah, I believe it, man. Especially back
Fifteen
then.
hundred
Because think
bucks.
about it, that was an independent film. So think of an
Yeah,
independent film back in the day and independent films now. I mean, you basically have no money to shoot the movie.
yeah.
Now,
I mean,
I don't know. It was probably no money to
they had a
say,
pretty
but
big budget though for independent. It was like 13.5 mil. I mean, it
really?
grossed to over 200,000 worldwide, but they still had 13.5 mil, bro. Gross. That's pretty serious.
Wait, it grossed over 200 what? Million
It
or
was their
200,000?
budget. They made the movie with 13.5 mil, but then the
Okay.
movie made 200 million worldwide.
400 million. Yeah. Yeah.
200 million.
That
So
makes
that's pretty
sense.
serious, bro. And did you know that
Oh,
Michelangelo was supposed to have like a kind of a depressed, like he was supposed to be depressed in it, like
all right.
they ended up deleting all those scenes because they were like, all right, that's just gonna make this movie too dark,
Yeah, yeah. Because
so then,
Raphael alone, Raphael was the most conflicted one
yeah.
during the
But he
entire
was just
movie.
a hothead though.
He was the
He
hothead.
wasn't depressed though, which is
Yeah,
weird because in the cartoon, Michelangelo was always funny and joking around and this and
yeah.
that. So I don't know, unless I missed something in the comics that he was like depressed. Maybe I did.
But that's my thing also is that just watching the movie and it being so not yeah, it's old. It's 30 something years old, 35, and it had the perfect medium of being a serious movie, but kind of like I don't want to say kiddish because it does have its like light moments and kind of kiddish moments, but it had like that perfect blend. Like, you know how some movies are either too kiddish or they're
Yeah,
too jokey or too. This one was like a serious right down the middle, and it had its little quirky moments. but it was just a gritty, dark film. And then especially, I mean, to me, one of the best battle scenes ever was the ending scene on the rooftop,
Yeah,
Splinter versus Shredder.
yeah.
He's fighting all the turtles, and then it's amazing. It's amazing, and anybody, I mean, not just me, but
But it's
I
funny
think
how you say like a kid movie though, because that's why Corey Feldman was cool with the $1,500, because he just thought it was gonna be a low budget kid
yeah,
movie. He
yeah,
didn't expect it to blow up the way it did.
yeah,
I think he voiced it and he was also in the costume, the
yeah. He
Donatello
was in the
costume.
costume.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was awesome. But the one thing I did pick up on, the one, I don't want to say mistake, but maybe the one flaw in the movie was when they are sitting around the campfire and they're all crying. You can kind of see the cutouts to the eyes underneath
yeah, in their mouth. No, 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 it's in their mouth.
in the
The
mouth also,
cutouts
but to see, you can
or
kind of see the slits.
underneath,
Yeah, you
underneath
can.
the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can kind of see the slits there underneath. So. But it was a beautiful experience. I went in the afternoon to go watch it. I was maybe one of less than not even 8 people in there. Maybe three little kids, 3 4 kids with their mom, and big comfortable chair because most all these movie theaters have like those home theater big plushy
Yeah.
leather chairs,
Yep.
and the volume was good. The picture looked good. It looked good for what it is. I thought
And
it
it
was
was
supposed to be like,
enhanced, right? It was enhanced, wasn't it, to like 4K or something like that?
yeah. I mean, that's what they
Mm.
say, but it's in actuality. I mean, you're comparing it. You're thinking
It's
of
still
4K.
1080p probably. It's still 1080p.
It still has that. Yeah, it still has that vintage look to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Still has that vintage look. But yeah, everything about the movie just that's been I mean, one of our favorite films since we were a little
Yeah.
kid, and it was a beautiful thing to just sit there and experience it in the theaters again. And then when part two comes out next year, because they're
They're
talking
gonna
about
do Secret of the Ooze. They're gonna
they're going to
bring
do
that back
Secret of
to
the
the
Ooze,
theaters. This one
and
did
that
better
one,
than they expected too, because they went from a 3-day lifespan in the movies. They extended it to 7 days, and then now that's why they're talking about doing the Secret of the Ooze in the movie theaters next
yeah,
year.
which that one I can't wait because I feel like
Yeah,
I remember less of that one and even more, way less than the third one. I couldn't even tell you if I watched the third one, it's probably going to be like I'm watching it my first time because I've never
yeah,
part three by then. But I remember parts one and part two was the best.
yeah,
Those are really the best. But this one here is just wow. It's hard to put it into words because
yeah.
it's such an amazing movie. And like I said, I mean, some people may find it. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder how the overall sentiment of the public is nowadays. Older viewers and these younger viewers, like I said, those kids were crying. Those little kids, they were crying.
Yeah.
Crying with Splinter. So I mean, they just goes to show that there is that movie still till this day can capture emotions from these newer,
Especially
this newer
under the young
generation.
generation. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
yeah, that's pretty much it though. So until the next one, I guess, right?
That's a wrap.
All
Cowabunga,
right,
dude.
later.